So this is History 102. This is the freshman level class. It's in the core, but it's not a standalone course in the core. We're not a standalone section of the core anymore. So, enrollment's been interesting lately. But so I get a population of students who are largely non-majors. So one of my big things was accessibility, just like Audrey was saying. I had an interesting incident this summer with an online student who takes an online class, doesn't check her email for 4 days. But she did the wrong test, or wrong quiz, and I couldn't see her quiz grade, and we just had all sorts of miscommunication. And I said to her, I had to talk to her on the phone, I said, did you look at your syllabus? And she's like, this is the last day of class. She's like, what are you talking about syllabus? So I was like, okay, so I really clearly need to work on accessibility. So this class now is all about just a few clicks and you should know what you have to do. So since basically the last time we did the midterm review thing, I've done an introductory video that really lays out the syllabus and the course calendar and what their expectations are. Then I followed the same thing that Xavier did, the step 2, read through your course syllabus, right? Familiarize yourself with the course calendar, join VoiceThread, learn how to make comments on VoiceThread, and then, an icebreaker activity. So some of the things that I have on here are for student interaction or engagement actually are, I do VoiceThread lectures. I mean, it's really hard to avoid that in history classes. One of the big changes that I've already mentioned is their assignments are going to be almost solely based on primary source analysis, and it's freshman level. So some of these things I would like to think they had interaction with in high school. I think more and more they aren't having interaction with it, but document-based questions, reading a primary source, answering these questions. I've got conflicting primary sources that don't agree, so that's one assignment. Visual primary sources, so they're going to look at World War II propaganda and analyze it. They're going to look at Cold War propaganda videos and analyze that. So there's lots of different activities for them to engage in. I love images and maps, so my PowerPoints are full of those. I should say already, this was a total overhaul. So my lectures are closely aligned with the new textbook that I'm using now. So that's just brand new. In terms of student interaction, like I showed you, there's the icebreaker, discussion boards. So history, we got all sorts of fun, controversial things that we can do with them. So some of the discussion board questions are answer a simple question, then answer a question that you can answer with in your own opinion, but use some sort of evidence to back it up. So, like a big question is, how did slaves define freedom upon emancipation? And then how do you define freedom? And then do you agree with your fellow students on their definition? So they're going to have to do discussion boards that I'll interact with them on and that they'll interact with one another on. So that's a big change. The other big thing that I really like, again, I want this class to be, there's no questions, what you have to do. Each week I have the folders, and what I changed since the midterm review was I did the same thing Audrey did with here's your to-do list for this week. Again, there should be no confusion. And I'm going to send out the videos as well, and I'll use VoiceThread as well. I have had the same issue where, my funny face is like the big screen there. So I made it very simple in terms of that kind of stuff. Let's see. What do I like most about my course design? Accessibility. It's just so much cleaner, I think. I'm a minimalist in my own life and all sorts of things, and it's just so much cleaner now. And I guess it never occurred to me before. If I just threw a class up on Blackboard, people could figure it out. Well, I guess that's not the case. So, so this is all so much cleaner for them. Suzanne and I took an infograph session through the OLC. So I did create an infograph introducing myself to them. That's the thing I'm most proud of, because I couldn't figure out the infograph. I couldn't figure out the infographics for the actual class content, but I could do one on myself. So that might say more about me than anything else. I also have a Twitter link in my in-person classes. I always bring in articles, history articles, but like contemporary things. So I put up a Twitter link so that students don't actually have to follow me, because most of them get offended that I don't follow them in return. So I just put that up there so that it's just the articles that, you know, are more interesting. So those are some of the things I like the most about my course design, because it makes it maybe a little different and interesting. I changed everything, like I said. So some of the things I implemented from this, I actually really like the course calendar. Like I said, I'm very much in my own life a minimalist. I like to see things and make it simple. So I'm working on my syllabi already for this coming semester, and I've done little course calendars. And I do like, I'm more familiar with these technologies now. I really needed some hand holding from Yuhan and Laura. So you know, sometimes I have to go to a conference, maybe, hopefully in September. So I'm going to have to do some hybrid assignments. So maybe do VoiceThread assignments for them. And that's what we have to do that in our department. We're not allowed to just cancel. So something like that. I agree with Audrey, and other people have already said this. Looking at this from the student's perspective is the most important thing. And that student, I mean, I've been teaching online for years, and that student this semester, I was just like, where's the, what? So that really, I think, is an important part of it. And I'm going to redefine my success as an online instructor. I'm going to, you know, start from scratch with this class here. And I'm rolling it out in fall. I thought I was going to have to wait for the bookstore with the new books and everything, but they changed it for me. So I'm going to start this in the fall. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So any questions?
Share with us how you put a Twitter feed.
Oh yeah.
If we have time, you know.
I Googled how to put Twitter feed in Blackboard, and it was a. I don't think I can ever do it again. So I hope this new export to the new Blackboard goes over, because I basically copy this from course to course. So I did it once, and it took me hours, and then once I did it, yeah, it was fine. There was something I had to tweak, and I cannot remember what it is now. If I played with it again, maybe. But
these days, you can really find answers on Google. I'm not joking. Just throw in your question there. Somebody will have an answer there, just like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it really took me a long time. It was sort of ridiculous. I should have given up, but I was avoiding doing other work by doing that. So.
You said that you did a lot of discussion about interaction. Was that through VoiceThread with the students?
Well, actually, no, but I'm glad you asked that. I did discussion board through discussion board, but my normal lecture style in the classroom is lecture, start a conversation in the middle of lecture, planned or not, most of it's unplanned. So what I did on my VoiceThread lectures was ask questions, and they're usually broad, abstract questions that it's not like, oh, that happened in 1865. No, it's like, tell me your opinion on this. So I did that throughout my lectures, so there's a little bit of a chance for them to interact in that respect.
So do you expect them to comment on VoiceThread?
It's not required, and I said it on there.
But at least you give it the opportunity to think it out.
Yeah, so they're not getting graded on it, and I say that to them. I'll be like, again, you can comment, but you're not required to. So, did you have
one more question?
Oh yeah.
Sorry. When you said embed a lot of links, that you expected to go to a lot of links, which I can see how that would be very valuable. Is that part of your VoiceThread too, or do you just have separate links in the course site?
Yeah, I don't put them into the VoiceThread. That was something I did change, because I do that in my own classroom where I'll put a link up and I'll bring it up in the class. But I don't do that anymore. The textbook that I'm using has podcasts from the historian who wrote it, and so I'm using those more, but they're separate from the lectures. And I actually like Audrey's idea of optional. I was thinking maybe I should add those optional videos for the ones that I'm not using, because it's really, he's a brilliant guy. He's reflecting on these really important questions. So I might do that. Might steal another idea from Audrey. Did you have?
I had a question about, could we see your calendar?
The actual course?
Yeah.
It's really not that special. It's pretty simple. Is it coming up? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you just it's basically the template.
It's the template, yeah. I mean, it's different for my classroom classes because I got Monday, Wednesday, Friday, week, topic, that kind of stuff. So it's different. But I think it's clean.
Yes.
They see exactly what they need to see. And I color-coded it. I've been color-coding my syllabi for other classes, too. I'm a bit of a neat freak. It does help, yeah. I was just astounded that the student was so confused this semester. And I feel like that's a new thing. After so many years of teaching, this is new to me that they're so confused. So
maybe you can say like send like a new survey at the end to see what they think about, you know, the navigation reports.
that's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you could, or do you think one of us could be able to put together an infographic without having attended the infographic?
Oh yeah. Because the thing was, they basically were like, you have to make an infographic. Here are the programs you have to use. You can use. There was no hands. Yeah, it was the one that I used for this. I think it's PictoCharts. Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know if USI purchases it, but
You search on Google infographics. I think the second link is PictoChart.
is it?
There's a free account you can use, and pretty much the only way you need to pay is because they give you more templates.
More templates.
So those are available for you right away.
Yeah, and this is an original idea. Somebody in our online class did this, and I was like, oh my god, that's a great idea.
It's a really good idea.
So I stole it from them. So, right? It's the same picture my students see every time too. So, but oh yeah, so that's it.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Nice.